Hey there, this is Gaurav. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today I'll be talking about some concept of artificial intelligence, which we called as AI. And you already can see that in market how AI is becoming so popular. Everyone is talking about AI. Everyone is trying to learn AI. So I decided to create this video where I can discuss some important concept of AI. So without wasting any further time, let's jump right in. So before going to discuss about AI, let me do one thing. Let me just spend a little bit time to understand about human being, especially human brain. How human being is basically learning. So let me ask you a very simple question. The question is, do you believe that human being is superior species in the earth or in the world? What would be your answer? Definitely the answer would be yes, right? But the question will come that why it's so? Why we are the superior species in the earth? I'm talking about earth because as far as earth is concerned, we are superior. But if I talk about the universe, definitely there would be some different alien. I'm not going into that direction now. But in earth, human is superior. But why it's so? Because we know that human is ruling the world, right? Human can do anything they want. The actual answer actually lies in something called intelligence. There is something which is common in all human beings, that is called intelligence. We all have intelligence. So what is the intelligence? Let's understand that first. Intelligence is an ability to learn something, to understand something, to create something, to take a decision, to think something out of box. So those kind of capability is called intelligence. You can see human can learn something, right? Human can create something. If we compare human with some other animal, then you will definitely understand that how human is learning and progressing, right? They are creating new architecture, new structure, new technology. They are doing all these things because of the intelligence, right? But the question will come that how intelligence come in human being but not in other animal, and that answer would be your something called human brain. Now what's in human brain? That is an interesting thing. So the human brain that we have, it is the most complicated, sophisticated, you can say as organ or machine, whatever you can say, that we have got. Okay, it came after million years of evolution. Okay, because the human brain that we have the capability of something called intelligence. Because of that, we can think something, we can take a decision, we can learn something, and that's how we are superior. I hope it is clear. So now my next question is, how this intelligence is developing? How? Because when you born, you know nothing, right? But slowly you are developing the intelligence. How? It is because of the learning that you are doing. But from where you are learning? You are learning from data. That is the most important thing. Okay, so you are learning from data, and that's how your intelligence is developing. So we are continuously gathering data, either consciously or subconsciously. Okay, now how we are gathering data? It is the help of the five senses that we have. Like we have ears, we have eyes, right? We have tongue, we can have touch. So this all are the five senses from where you are continuously gathering data. So those data is helping you to learn something new, and that's how your intelligence is developing. So now because of this data, we all human beings are unique. We all have our different thought. Like if I ask some question right now, someone can give different answer and other can give different answer. That is because of the data that you are gathering from very day one. Because of the environment where you live, where you studied, from the college, your colleague, your friend, everywhere. That's how we all are unique, because we are gathering different data. So those data actually creating a pattern in your brain. And because of that pattern, the more you are seeing the data, more you are learning the data, the pattern is becoming more strong in your brain. So because of that, when you see that data, then you are able to crack it. You know that this is a flower, you know this is a car, something like that. So do you want me to prove it? Let me prove it. So let's say, let me write two words here, and you have to tell me what is the first thing that came in your mind. Okay, you can write this in the comment section. So let's say I am writing here flower. That is number one. So you have to tell me what is the first thing that came in your mind, and I am writing something here. Okay, and what is something that came in your mind? You have to tell this one as well. So let me guess. So I can guarantee that when I wrote flower here, you can think about some flower, right? Some image you can think. But if I talk about this one, your mind got blank. You don't know anything, just some code, but it doesn't make any sense because your brain has not trained anything like this data before, right? Because of that, this is something which is unknown for you. But if I talk about flower, you know flower very well because you are seeing flower, you are talking about flower, you are writing flower many times, and that's how in your brain the pattern of flower has become very strong. So when I wrote this flower, you are able to crack it, you are able to think about some image, right? But not for this. But if I say what is this, maybe you will be creating a new pattern in your brain, and next time onward you will be able to say what is this. Okay, that is a very generic or very basic way how we are learning and how we are developing our intelligence in human brain. And human brain, as I mentioned, is a very complicated, sophisticated kind of structure that we have. Because of that, we are able to do this. So now I discussed about intelligence. Now let's talk about the artificial intelligence. So now it became very clear. So intelligence, we all know that it's a kind of capability like human being where we can take a decision, we can think something. And artificial means that human is creating, especially in intelligence that we are kind of giving to a machine. So that machine can work, can talk, can take a decision like a human being. That is a real underlying motivation or purpose of this domain, artificial intelligence. So now I hope the concept of artificial intelligence is clear, but now let me discuss some other terminologies. So as I mentioned, first thing that is AI, okay, and then something that we have called machine learning, okay, that is called ML. Then we have something called I can say like deep learning, DL. And we can have something called neural network, or it is called artificial neural network. Okay, also we can have something like data science, DS. So these are the terminologies that you have heard multiple times, but maybe you are not very much sure about this term, what is the responsibility and how we can differentiate all this term and so on. Okay, so let me do one thing, let me try to create a relationship between all the terms so that it will be very clear for you. So if I talk about artificial intelligence, let me try to draw a Venn diagram so it will be very easy for you. So let's say this is my artificial intelligence. So this artificial intelligence, this name was coined in 1956, okay, by someone called John McCarthy. You can Google it, you will get the name. John McCarthy is the first one who coined the name that is artificial intelligence. So John McCarthy first thought that maybe like the intelligence that we have in human being, similar kind of intelligence maybe we can create in machine, so that machine can work as a human. Okay, that is 1956. But what is AI? This is actually a very rich domain, or I can say discipline. That is the best word. Discipline in the sense AI is a discipline where we will talk about how a machine can have intelligence. That's it. Okay, this is a very big rich discipline, I can say. Now what about this machine learning? So now let me take a different color, maybe just for simplicity. So machine learning can be considered as a subset of this AI. Okay, this is my machine learning, which is called ML. So ML, this term was coined by Arthur Samuel, and the date was approx 1959. So the name machine learning means we will study all the mathematical model, we will study how machine can learn from where? Learn from data. So in this domain we will be studying about how my machine will be able to learn from data, because our ultimate goal is artificial intelligence, like creating the intelligence in machine. But for that, as I mentioned, first we have to learn from the data, right? This is a very important thing which we are doing from the very day one. So that is what we are studying over here. We will be talking about different mathematical model, different architecture, and we will see how my machine is able to learn from the new data. Okay, and the next one is called deep learning. So deep learning, I can also create another subdomain let me take a different color. Maybe this is not looking good. Let me take a black one. I think that was really good. So if I talk about deep learning, let me draw deep learning here. Let's say this is my deep learning, DL. So to understand the deep learning, we have to first understand about artificial neural network. And actually this artificial neural network is same as deep learning. Okay, let me tell you the difference. So the artificial neural network actually coined, you can see if you Google it, you will find like almost 1943, which is even before the AI. Okay, so I will come to deep learning, but before that let's understand about artificial neural network. So you can say artificial means we are creating neural that is coming from the human brain. Like we have multiple neurons, almost 100 billion neurons. That's where the neural is coming, and network because those neurons are actually creating a very sophisticated network. Okay, so in 1943 there were two persons, Warren and Walter. They first approached a mathematical model through which maybe our human brain can be replicated. Okay, we can mimic the functionality of human brain in machine. You can see it came even before 1943, but actually in 1960 I would say the important underlying model that is called multi-layered perceptron. You don't have to go to technical term, but the very important, I would say, heart of the deep learning, that is multi-layered perceptron, this came or coined in 1960. So you can see the concept was there in 1960, okay, which we are learning now. But the main problem was there is like this artificial neural network, it was not giving any kind of advantage, any kind of application, but the entire scientist community, they were investing a lot of money and time to it, but were not able to find out any application of it, though we had the mathematical model. So in 2000, this same term renamed with deep learning, okay, and it was done by Jeffrey Hinton, who is a godfather of AI. I think you all know. Recently he has resigned. So this term has changed by deep learning. So because of the name, I think you can say whenever we are changing some name, it has its own marketing value, right? People will be interesting to understand what is it. But in 2000 actually the name has changed to deep learning. So here in deep learning, the word deep means what? So actually the artificial neural network, what I am saying, so deep learning, you can say it is a subdomain of artificial neural network. There is one more domain called shallow learning, but I am not considering that because shallow learning is not giving much application. So because of that, I am only talking about deep learning and artificial neural network, and you can say like fundamentally they are same. So artificial neural network means you can think like a number of neurons, they are getting connected and they are creating layer and very big network, right? But if the network that I'm talking about, network means those neurons are connected in some pattern, okay? If the network is very huge, very deep, number of layers are very large, then we can call that artificial neural network as deep learning. But if the network is a very small, number of layers are very less, then you can call that as shallow learning. But I am only focusing about deep learning because we are going to see deep learning only. Shallow learning is just a concept that we have used, but we don't have much application out of it because for complex analysis we need something called deep learning model where my network would be very, very large. So that's why fundamentally both are same. So the main purpose of this two, I can say, where we can just copy the functionality of brain, like how the neurons are connected and how it is working in machine, so that machine can develop our real goal, that is artificial intelligence. Okay. So now what about this data science? Now you know that data science also becoming very popular and rich domain. Everyone is trying to learn data science, but can you tell me where I can fit data science here? So data science, you can see it's talking about data, that is for sure. And in every layer like artificial intelligence, ML, DL, NN, everywhere I need data. So data science, this domain is actually will intersect this all domain, subdomain. So this is my data science. So now let's understand why data science is very important. Let's understand this very clearly. As I mentioned, that learning that we are doing it from data, right? But the data that we are gathering, that has to be correct data, right? Because if you look at the social media, like every application or every website, they are actually creating data, right? But in public internet, most of the data I would say as garbage or wrong data. But data has to be very much correct, then only my machine will be able to predict or able to learn, right? But if your data is wrong, which is the main source point from where I will do the actual learning, if your data is wrong, then the thing that I will learn, that is also wrong, and there is no point of creating any artificial intelligence, because your machine will not work the way you want. Okay, so the first thing that you have to make sure is the data that you are feeding to the machine learning, that has to be accurate. Okay, so that is a domain where we will deal with data, we will see the data, and our job is to purify the data. Let me give you a very interesting example, maybe it will be very clear to you. Let's say you have a son or daughter, right? And you're looking for a best college or best university. Why? Because you want whatever my daughter will learn, it should be from best faculty, it should be from best university. Why? Because the data that my daughter will learn, that will be accurate, right? That is the main purpose. So every time we are learning, we are gathering data, and from where we are creating the intelligence. Okay, so that is the main purpose of data science, where data will be corrected, purified, and we will feed to machine learning model. So now there is one more domain I think left, that is called generative AI. You will see like ChatGPT and so on. This will be coming inside the deep learning, I would say, or artificial neural network, because they are using some kind of deep learning or artificial neural network model, and their job is to create or generate some content, maybe translation or image to text or creating some text. So this comes under here. Okay. Okay, I hope now you have got the relationship between all these terminologies. So whenever anyone will ask you, you just think about this Venn diagram. So let me now discuss about one more important concept today, that is called type of AI. So how many different type of AI we have? That is, one is called ANI. That N stands for narrow, and this is artificial intelligence. So artificial narrow intelligence. Another one is called AGI. Here G stands for general, artificial general intelligence. So let's understand the difference between them very clearly. So as I mentioned, our main motto, our main goal was to create the intelligence, develop the intelligence in machine, so that machine can work like a human being and we can get benefit out of it. But whatever the AI model that you can see nowadays in the market, like it could be ChatGPT, it could be Gemini, like if I talk about ChatGPT or Gemini, the recent one that launched by Google, this all will come under ANI. Why? Because of the term narrow. It might be really great to do some stuff, but it is restricted to do some functionality. It is not working as a human we want, right? So AGI is the one where our machine will work as a human. So right now AGI is still in research. So everyone doing research to think how we can create AGI, and that is, I can say, the ultimate goal of us. And that's why people are very much worried nowadays, because they thought if AGI will come, which we called AI, that is nothing but the AGI. If AGI will come, it can create some negative impact to the human society. It can be a threat to the human society. But the question is why? You can use the same question that I have asked at the very initial time. Why human is superior species in the world? Because of the intelligence, right? Now if we can create an intelligence and machine which is much more stronger than what you have in human being, then that AGI can rule the world, right? It can be the superior species in the world, right? That is a basic funda. Let me give you one example, maybe you will be able to understand it. So you are spending 3 to 4 years doing some degree, right? Just to learn something, just to gather some data, right? But the same data I can give to my machine in maybe just a few hours, right? And my machine will become maybe engineer or doctor, whatever it could be, right? So think about this, whatever data that we have in public internet, right? If all data, if I feed the data to the machine, and then machine can be like at the same time, it can be doctor, it can be engineer, it can be anything, it can be teacher, and how powerful it become. Because in machine there is no bias, no emotion, but in human we have that emotion, we have limitation, we have the bias, but in machine there is no bias, right? We can feed all the data which are there in the public internet, and my machine will have much more stronger intelligence than an human have, ordinary human have. So that is a basic thing. Data science will play a very important role here, because those data has to be corrected, otherwise this machine will go in wrong direction. So I hope you got some idea about this AI. So let me ask a very important question which I will address in the next video, that why it's so that AI became suddenly popular nowadays. Okay, because if you look at the time like 1960, 1956, so already we had that mathematical model before, right? Definitely that model has evolved over time, but why it's so that suddenly we are getting the popularity in AI? So that I will answer or address in the next video. So I will create a couple of more videos on this series, like understanding the concept of AI. I will create what are the different learning that we have, like maybe supervised learning, unsupervised learning, and so on. So I hope you have understood the video, and if you have any doubt, please write that in the comment section, and don't forget to give your feedback, because for the first time I'm creating video like this. I haven't used pen tab before. My handwriting is very poor, but I hope you have understood the concept. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video. Take care. Tata. Bye bye.